1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. Hey YouTube, it's Jax coming at you with another video, and this video is actually my entry to a contest by NoiseSpektrum's. That's right, brother Lee. Lee is actually celebrating his 2 years here in the VC, so Lee, congratulations, brother, and here's to many, many, many years more. To those of you who don't know NoiseSpektrum's, Lee is just an awesome guy, loves metal, obviously, but what I like about Lee is that he always brings up the most obscure underground stuff. I'm discovering so many bands from his channel. It's really great. And another cool thing about him is that he loves record labels, and once again, the more obscure the better. So I've discovered a lot of labels I had never even heard of, and he did a few spotlight videos on record labels like Attic Records and Bonsai Records, and I thought those were super interesting. So yeah, amazing channel. And I gotta be honest, I've only discovered Lee's channel recently. I'm fairly new to his channel, but I was instantly hooked. I subscribed right away. I was commenting, and and we really hit it off right away. Next thing I knew, he was subscribed to me and commenting on my videos, and just kind of chit-chatting back and forth. So yeah, really cool guy. So if you don't know NoiseSpektrum's, check it out. What are you waiting for? So yeah, anyway, let's get to the contest. He's having a contest for his 2 years on the VC. And here's how it works. He asked 4 questions, all of them revolving around the number 2. And he said you could pick 2 of these questions and answer them, or if you answer all 4 questions, that gets you 2 entries into the contest. So I looked at the questions and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to answer all 4. So here we go, buddy. Let's do it. Question number 1 is... well, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. Number 1, show 2 underappreciated or obscure live albums. So that was kind of tough. I looked over my collection. I'm like, I don't have that many live albums to begin with, but I did manage to find 2, and here we go. First album I want to show, a band from right here in the Great and Wide North, Hamilton, Ontario, to be more precise. It's none other than Teenage Head. This is their live album, Endless Party, from 1984. And it is just a great live performance. I think it's actually a compilation of several performances, but it's really great. For those of you who aren't familiar with Teenage Head, I love them. They're a punk rock band, or garage rock, whatever you want to call them, and they have a great sound. And they're actually known for their live sets. They were pretty popular on the in the Ontario club scene, playing live shows, and you could tell. Like, their studio stuff is great, but when you listen to their live performances, there's just this energy that you don't get in the studio. It's raw, it's fast, it's a little more aggressive, and it is great. So, yeah, I've been a fan of these guys for quite a while now, and if you haven't heard of them, I strongly recommend it. I don't often hear about them in the VC, it took me forever to find this copy, actually. I heard about this in about 2005 when I first got into the band, and I didn't find this very copy until 2013 out in the wilds. It just goes to show it doesn't pop up very often. But check it out if you find it. A cut that I like on here is actually, it's a cover song. It's got a bit of an odd title. It's called Cock in My Pocket. It's a cover song by the Stooges, but it opens up side 2, and their version of it is really great. So I recommend checking it out. Teenage Head, Endless Party. And the second record I want to show off, it's another punk rock band. This one coming from Northern Ireland, Stiff Little Fingers. This is their live album, Hanks. And this is actually a combination of 2 live sets. You got one at the Rainbow in London, July 20th, 1980, and another one at Friars, Aylesbury, on July 25th, 1980. So they're 5 days apart. But yeah, I love this band, and I don't often come across them on vinyl. This is actually the only thing by them I have, so I picked it up as soon as I found it a few years back. And again, they put on a great live show. Their songs sound great live, and yeah, it's really cool to have. And this is another one I don't come across very often. So yeah, those are the 2 obscure live albums I have to talk about. Question number 2. Satisfy my inner label nerd and show 2 of your favorite record labels. Tough. That was a tough one. Just to pick 2 labels I like. First one, Atlantic Records. I don't know what it is about that label I love. It's not rare or uncommon by any means, but there's just something about the label. Like if you look at just the sticker label specifically, that green and red color. Well, is it red or is it orange? I can never tell. It's either really faded red or orange. Either way, I think the sticker label looks great. There's just something I like about the colors, the combination of the colors, and every variation of the label too is great. And not only that, but just so many great bands were on Atlantic. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Ted Nugent for a while, Twisted Sister, and even on the heavier side, you have bands like Overkill and Testament. So just, I don't know, just something about Atlantic Records that I love. And the second label I picked, Casablanca. Casablanca was predominantly a disco label back in the day, but then one band changed that, and we all know who I'm talking about, Kiss. I can't think of Casablanca Records without thinking about Kiss, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And it's just another label that I love. Like when you pick up an album on Casablanca, it's always that mystery. What label am I gonna get? Is it gonna be the blue label? Is it gonna be the tan label? If you find a copy of Love Gun, is it gonna have the label with the band on the sticker, which I still don't have? And yeah, there's just so many variations. And it's like a game. It's always a fun game. Like, which label am I gonna get? And I like Casablanca for that. And yeah, when I think Casablanca, I just think Kiss. Like those two things are just combined permanently in my mind. So yeah, those are the two labels I had to talk about. Again, nothing rare or obscure, but those two labels they make me happy. Question number 3. Show 2 great second albums from any 2 artists. Okay, dude, that was a tough one. There are so many great sophomore albums out there, so many to pick from. Like, I had to really sit and think about this one. So I picked 2 albums, and I just want to make it clear that the 2 albums I picked, that doesn't mean that they're my favorites, or the 2 that I consider the best. Not really, I just picked them at random and thought, you know what, these are the 2 albums I want to talk about. So here we go. First one, Anthrax, Spreading the Disease from 1985. First album with Joey Belladonna on vocals, but second album overall. And this, I absolutely love this album by Anthrax. It's hard for me to pick a favorite, from Fistful of Metal all the way to Persistence of Time. I can't pick a favorite, they're all awesome, but this one's definitely up there. I don't know. Again, it's just raw, and it's just full-on metal. So yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Like, it's a great second album, Spreading the Disease. And the second album I picked, Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, 1991. This I love as a second album just because it's such a step up from their first album. Their first album is great, don't get me wrong. I love the self-titled by Skid Row. But this one here, they just took it up a notch. They cranked it up to 11. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just, the first album, it's a rockin' album. You know, they're known for the ballad, I Remember You. Still a great song, but this here, well, there are ballads on here, 3 to be precise. But the songs that rock hard. I never get tired of this album. Slave to the Grind, Skid Row. And now that brings us to the final question. Question number 4. Show any release with the word 2 in its title. And he wants the word spelled out, TWO. No number 2 or Roman numeral 2. No. That was a challenge, man. Like, I looked through my collection and I looked and I looked. I found a lot of number 2s. I found a lot of Roman numerals. But spelled out? You made me work, brother. But I found one. You know, the one I found is on CD, and it's Beastie Boys, Hot Sauce Committee Part 2, TWO. This album is great. It's their final album. It was released about a year before MCA passed, it's a great album. One of their best. I know a lot of people, that's my opinion. I know a lot of people might not agree, but I think it's one of their best. I was really pleased with it. So yeah, I won't say much about it, but I just want to say that I actually found an album with TWO in the title. So there you have it. That's my contest entry for Noise Spectrum. Lee, I hope you enjoyed my answers, and everyone else also. I hope you guys enjoyed. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Noise Spectrum, check out his channel. Subscribe. You won't regret it. And that's it for me. I gotta go get ready for work. So to everyone else, have a great weekend. Later.